In this question, we're considering how many solutions does this modulus equation have. So it's x modulus x plus 1 equals 3 modulus x. What I like about this question is there's nothing crazy, nothing too weird going on. It just wants us to think deeply about one trick that often comes up with modulus questions. So let's think first of all, how do we usually approach these? And if you've got a modulus function, we should be thinking of two cases, one where x is greater than or equal to 0, and the other one where x is less than 0. Let's first of all think what happens when x is greater than or equal to 0 then. So x greater than or equal to 0. And moduli are really nice when this happens because they just kind of go away. So we get x modulus x just gives us x squared. So we'll have x squared plus 1 equals 3 modulus x will just be 3x. And from here there's really nothing crazy. We would just like to solve this quadratic to find values of x. So let's try it. X squared minus 3x plus 1 equals 0. And then completing the square because we can't factorise this nicely. So x minus 3 over 2 squared, it would be minus 9 over 4 plus 1. So that should be minus 5 over 4 equals 0. And then when we sort it out, we'll get x squared minus 3 over 2. So x minus 3 over 2 squared equals 5 over 4. Getting rid of the square root and moving the 3 over 2 over, we should get x equals 3 over 2 plus or minus the square root of 5 over 2. I'm going to put this in a box. We don't want to think about this too much at the moment. We'll leave it and then come back to it later on when we're thinking about the trick that could catch us out. So let's think about the other case now. We thought about when x is greater than or equal to 0. Now let's think about when x is less than 0. So we can do this up here. X less than 0. So when x is less than 0, modulus of x becomes minus x. So what we've got is x times minus x. That would be minus x squared plus 1. And 3 modulus x will be minus 3x. So if we'd like to put these all onto one side together, all these terms, and make it equal to 0 so we can solve this quadratic, we would get x squared minus 3x minus 1 equals 0. This looks really similar to what we already had, x squared minus 3x minus 1. Before we had x squared minus 3x plus 1. It's this minus 1 that's going to give us something interesting later on though. So we get x minus 3 over 2 squared, that will be minus 9 over 4 minus 1. So that will be minus 13 over 4 equals 0. So x minus 3 over 2 squared is 13 over 4. So sorting this out and solving it, we should get x equals 3 over 2 plus or minus root 13 over 2. Again, I'll put this in a box. At the moment then, it looks like we've got 4 solutions. Because remember, our original question was, how many solutions does this thing have? Well, we think we've got 4 at the moment, because we've got plus or minus, and a plus or minus. But now we need to think about, are our solutions actually valid or not? And in this case, well, let's start with this one. We would like x to be greater than 0 for these solutions. Well, 3 over 2 is positive, plus root 5 over 2, that is definitely greater than 0. We've got 2 positive numbers, we add them, has to be greater than 0. If we think about the other case, where we've got 3 over 2 minus root 5 over 2. Well, we've got a positive number, take away another positive number. 3 is definitely bigger than root 5. Like, absolutely it has to be. Root 5 is somewhere between 2 and 3. So this one, that's me being really dumb. It should be greater than 0 as well. Both of these solutions then, x is greater than 0, they both work. So we've got solution number 1 and solution number 2 to our inequality. Thinking over this side then, something ever so slightly different happens. We would like here for x to be less than 0. And if we think first of all, well, when we have 3 over 2 minus root 13 over 2, root 13 is bigger than 3 because 3 is root 9, 13 is obviously bigger than 9, so root 13 being bigger than 3 means that this is less than 0. That means that's one solution that actually works. So we've got a third solution, put 3 in that circle, a third solution to that equation. But when we consider our fourth solution, it's this same idea that's going to come back to get us. We've got 3 over 2 plus root 13 over 2. And because root 13 is bigger than 3, 3 over 2 plus root 13 over 2, because they're both positive numbers, this is definitely bigger than 0. In fact, we didn't even need root 13 being bigger than 3 for that, did we? It's definitely bigger than 0. This solution doesn't work then. I'm going to put a big cross next to it. This solution not working means that of our original 4, actually only 3 of them work. So our answer to this question, how many solutions does this equation have? It should be 3.